Hello. So I'm going to just leave the camera where it is for this one. Just decided to do a little sketch before going to bed. And I'm looking at my eye in the mirror. The old faithful drawing my own eye. Because I wanted to do something. And it seemed the simplest thing. And I'm also actually encouraging those on the watercolour portrait online group to have a look at drawing and maybe painting their own eye or an eye in watercolour. Either from life or from a photo, but I took a photo of my eye earlier and then I just thought, actually, you know what, I can easily set up the mirror, and it seems it's got some more vital feel when I'm working from life. There's something about the risk attached to everything being moving and everything in flux, you know, like the image that I'm looking at in the mirror, I know has the possibility of moving, and obviously I'm moving as I'm drawing, and I'm looking up and looking down, but the main thing that isn't static. Maisie, that's Maisie pulling at her plaster. She's got a bandage. The main thing that isn't moving is the image I'm working from, of course. Just Maisie's nose getting into the thing. I am clear that I'm going to have an earlier night tonight. Like last night it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I find that the thing that happens to me, right, is that I feel like maybe I've not lived enough in the day or something, or I've been doing all the jobs and I want to then relax. And so I end up, sorry, the mirror is moving slightly. So what I end up doing then is staying up late and then still getting up early. So I made the decision that I wasn't going to do that to myself tonight, but I did want to do a drawing. So after this drawing I'm going to go to sleep. I'm sure there was something else I was going to say to you there, but I can't think of what it was now. My eye is pretty much completely in shadow here, like, which kind of suits me because I feel like I want to make marks. I quite like the whole thing of making marks. Sometimes it's quite nice to be vigorous, you know, just to let the pen stay moving around. And I guess as my face gets older, there's a little bit more there are more convoluted bits and things to hook a drawing on. So I'm seeing, I suppose, you know, like maybe someone like Rembrandt made 100 portraits plus of himself over his lifetime. And I'd imagine that he must have really noticed himself aging. And people speak about that, don't they? Historians kind of talk about the aging in his portraits and the kind of sense of loss that... I'm really annoyed at Maisie because she's trying to pull off the plaster. It's not a plaster, it's a bandage. Stop, Maisie. She's sick and tired of having that bandage on her. I suppose it'll give me a slight sense of urgency to get this finished, so that I can, because I think there's just a little bit of fluff or something coming up inside that she's able to get a purchase on it. Oh, good girl, she stopped. Let me see now, am I looking at all? I am. There's something really satisfying. I just forget, you know, I forget all the time with all the busyness of things that I want to do. I sometimes can forget that actually just doing a drawing is the business, you know, it's important. And I don't mind if I'm the whole time drawing my own eye. I quite like drawing stuff from life, and having my eye there is handy. And I'll tell you what, there's something in drawing my own eye that really does let me come back home to myself. I know it sounds a bit, maybe it sounds a little bit kind of Maybe it sounds a little bit, I don't know, something self-absorbed or something, is it? I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. But I'm actually really relishing the process of drawing, and I'm just reminding myself of how helpful it is for me to do this as a means of settling my attention on something. Oh yeah, I was going to say that actually drawing your own eye has got more to it as well than just drawing a picture of an eye, especially if you're looking at yourself in the mirror from life, working from life. There's something there that is, inspiring, kind of, it's curious looking at yourself. Like, there's a thing like gazing up from behind those eyes that have been your eyes since you were born. Like, since I was born, these eyes are the very same physical. Although some people would say, of course, that our cells change, don't they? Like, that the only constant is change, and that even we regenerate every 7 years or something, that not one cell of ours is the same. So there is that as well, but at the same time I know that I was born looking out of these eyes, and I'm still wearing the same ones in that sense. And so isn't it exciting to kind of imagine all the memories of all the things these eyes saw, all the stuff that occurred in my life, the ups and downs and ins and outs and everything. These eyes were with me all that time, witnessing. So it's kind of, there's something kind of, stoic and moving and kind of inspiring about drawing, about giving attention to these eyes that actually are the thing that give attention, that bring the world into our experience, those of us who are sighted anyway. That it's the looking out from here, and so turning the tables and looking back at your own eye can have a kind of a weight to it, like, as a subject. One time I was drawing myself in the mirror, and I had set up 2 mirrors so I could see myself as though I was someone else looking at myself. And as I drew my eye, I started to cry. I felt this real sensitivity to myself, I was kind of separated from myself enough that I was able to have real empathy, kind of. It's like a friend of mine was talking about how she came across herself in a mirror one day as she was walking down the street, but there was a reflected glass door or something. And she looked at herself and she thought, I know that person. She kind of looked at herself, but for a split second before realising it was herself. She was kind of saying, God, that's so-and-so or something. She was thinking to herself that it was a friend of hers, kind of. And she said it was really lovely to have that sensation about herself. The same friend said another time that she caught herself in a mirror and thought, oh, look at that very thin girl. And she herself thought that she was overweight at the time. So that was another kind of wake-up call, she said. You see, there are a lot more wrinkles these days under my eyes and stuff. I seem to be okay with it. It's funny. I keep dodging around the mirror to look at Maisie to see what she's up to. She seems to be grooming herself like a cat. But I say she's just desperate to get into that cot. She's got a cot under her foot that's been stitched and bandaged for the last week. And I think that because she can't access that paw, she's been licking all the other ones. But I think it's like not being able to reach the itch, it must be irritating for her. Not quite getting to where she wants. Okay. I think when I'm at my residency in the Borders that I'm going to draw a lot. maybe this sketchbook is going to be full of drawings. And you know what? It might be full of drawings of my own eye. It'll be kind of, well, I don't know if it'll be interesting for the onlooker, but it'll be interesting enough for me to do that. Because I just find I want to just sometimes look and draw, look and draw, look and draw. Get into that settled place that feels so familiar to me. And I think if I'm somewhere out of the ordinary and have time and space, I might like the ritual of regular practice. Drawing something, drawing the same thing for those 30 days that I'll be there. 29 days actually. So, you know, to have some sort of kind of a structure and a ritual around it. I'm just getting a cast shadow of my nose. I don't know if you can still, yeah, you can see it all, can't you? So there's the cast shadow of my nose there, diagonally shooting down. And it's also, there's a shadow underneath my nose too that's attached to it. And there is no dividing line between the two. As far as I can see from here, it only starts there to divide. I don't anticipate heading down towards my nose now, but there we have it. You know, my brother Patrick is he was my Chris Kendall this year, and I actually still haven't got him a present. When I get off this note, I'm going to, I know I said I wanted an early night, but I also want to get him something. I want to strike while the iron is hot now when I think of it. I've got a few jobs to do, or else I could just write down those jobs. Yeah, I need to pay for, I wanted to pay for a ticket for Lily to go and see the Arctic monkeys in the summer as well, so. But if I could just write it down, it wouldn't mean that it would be on the screen again before sleep, because that tends to wake you up, doesn't it? Oh, what am I doing to my nose here? It has actually got that kind of a shadow to it, which seems a bit weird. Let's see. That's where the shadow cuts off. I got these pens from my sister Rita last Christmas. I did well with my Chris Kendall last Christmas. I actually just put in the refill for this one, so it's supposed to be red with its purple, because the refill I didn't match to the pen. But I love when pens have got refills. Like, what a great idea! And they're such nice they're such nice pens to draw with. I think they were called something like Bible pens or something, because you can write in the Bible. Thin sheets of paper in the Bible can be written on without it soaking through. But it at the same time has a very strong ink in it. I'm getting trigger happy now. Heading down to the mouth and everything. And I'm trying to find the shape of the shadow, the shape of the light here, made by the shadows around it. And one side of that shape is the upper lip. That bandage that Maisie's got on her now cost £34 something today. There's Manuka honey in it and everything to try and help her heal. The one the other day was £32. And then the very first bandage, when she got her stitches and everything, it was 260. No, it wasn't. It was £368. Imagine. Honest to God. Luckily, she hasn't often been injured. So I still feel like it's no harm not having the insurance, because that seems quite costly, you know. So it's a bit of a gamble, but every time you need to go to the vet, I think it's okay if it's about that much every year or something is alright. Touch wood, nothing will happen next year, or for the rest of this year. Well, this has been good. It's been nice chatting to you. I think I do a drawing to, sometimes I do a drawing just to have a chat with you. It's kind of the case tonight, really. Chat with you and at the same time a way of connecting to myself. It's like having a walk with a friend, you know. Just to feel settled again. Yeah, I'm starting to give myself big wrinkles that aren't really there now. I don't really have that riveted a forehead. Although, you know, it's getting there. This is actually light all there. It's bright. And bright here too. And there's my shadow from my cheeks kind of coming in about here. Maybe even a little bit further in actually. There. So I've been looking at finding pigments that are natural, you know, that haven't been toxic in the making of them to the environment, and that won't be toxic using them. So if you know of anybody or any ways that I can get natural stuff to paint with, please let me know. Sculpting as well, maybe. I might end up just using completely natural stuff from the earth, and maybe the resulting art is actually could be photographs of things that I make outdoors. I don't like to disturb the environment too much, but I like using things I find to make stuff. It's grand, isn't it, being able to just play about for my job. It's not a job so much as in play, really. Just need to keep trusting that it'll be okay. I didn't realise that I hadn't taught online until 3 years ago. I was at my friend's house the other day. We had made kind of promises to ourselves, or intentions. We had set intentions and voiced them to each other 3 years ago. And my intention was to start teaching, to develop a teaching course for online teaching. And that's when I did it. It was a few years ago. That was when I first started. I actually did what I said I was going to do. It's strange, isn't it, to kind of recognise that only when we went over them again the other day, the intentions, that I had actually realised what I said I would do. Because I don't really give myself much credit normally for things that I do. I just kind of think, oh, I fell into it or something. But no, that was an intention that was set. And actually, the online courses have been great. Like, I really love them. I made really good friends, and I find it inspiring myself to do them. Better get going, or my early night will become a late night. This has happened so many times before. Do you know what I didn't realise? My shoulder was up the whole time as I was drawing there. I had a tense left shoulder. so what date is today now? Today is Sunday, isn't it? No, it's Monday. Monday the 23rd. 23rd of January. 23123. Okay guys, thanks for joining me. That's the end of that one. We'll see you for another stunt soon, no doubt. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.